we doing, bro?
Doing good. How about you, man? Doing
I'm
good.
doing good, bro. It feels good to, you know,
Laying back in
come
the.
on a Sunday. It's a beautiful day. It's sunny out. We decided to start our morning to go see Madam Web.
We did go see
Yeah.
Madam Web.
Oh
What they're
man.
saying is the worst comic book movie of all time.
Oh, is that what they're saying?
Oh yeah. Well, dude, it's the lowest rated, and I hate the site that
Jeez.
rates these films. Everyone knows that. Everyone that
Yeah.
watches the podcast knows I don't like Rotten Tomatoes, but um,
Did they have some?
yeah, man, it's lower than Morbius on that. It's from what I saw.
Wow.
Yeah, just from what
Wow.
I've been seeing in tweets
Yeah.
and shit. Because I'm obviously not going on Rotten Tomatoes itself. I don't
Right.
think I've ever actually typed in Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think I've ever searched
Yeah.
that website, but yeah, no, I've been seeing a lot of bad. Just I saw this one like cut up Instagram reel, or it might have been a TikTok. I don't even remember, but it was just a bunch of people basically like first excited about going to see the movie, and then after
Yeah.
worst movie of all time, terrible, like
Yeah.
just going in on it. So
Well, yeah, let's
yeah, no,
let's
I was
let's
I was felt like we as the Rising of the Dreamerverse need to go see it
yeah, we
ourselves
had
and
to form our
and
own
make our own
opinions.
opinion, because yeah, I'm not
It's
the
not the
opinions of others definitely do not affect me.
yeah.
Yemi will be the first to tell you that.
Yeah, you gotta.
But so yeah, I was like, we just need to go see it ourselves, obviously. And two, going back to the trailer, when we reacted to the trailer, um I don't know if you remember, we actually were like kind of hyped, thought looked good, like after the trailer, like we did
Yeah, we
personally.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
And
I,
then
I I went online and I realized that everyone did not like the
no one, no
trailer.
one liked it, bro.
Yeah,
No one liked it.
but I mean, there's so many biases that come in with people just seeing a female-led superhero movie. So there's a lot
Yeah,
of
that's one. That
there's a
that's
lot of
one thing.
toxic
That is
fandom,
one
bro.
thing. And I know we hit on that in the
Yeah,
Marvels, but
yeah,
like
but this
with
is
this one, I think
yeah.
you can't even really make that excuse
Nah,
personally.
nah, I can't.
All right, let's just get
Let's
out of the way before we even dive into the actual movie
yeah,
itself and rip it or
yeah,
praise it or whatever we're gonna do.
yeah.
I can tell you it's not gonna be full praise, but
Nah, it's
just what
not.
did you think of the movie? Give the Dream Star rating right out the rip, just so
Okay,
people can. Because honestly,
all right.
because here's the thing, we're
Yeah,
done with the whole spoilers in the title.
yeah, no,
We'll
no,
put
yeah.
it
This movie's been
we'll
out.
put it. Yeah, this movie's been out for like a week or two now, so it's
Yeah.
like maybe we're gonna help people either decide to go see it or not see it. So let's give the
Um,
rating right off the rip, and then we'll
yeah.
we'll go into how we thought.
Out of 5 Dream Stars, I'll give it a 2. I'll give it a 2. It's not great. It's not good.
Yeah, I
It's
think that's fair.
it's okay.
I was trying to think if I should go down to a 1, but I didn't personally hate it that much.
Yeah,
I didn't hate the
I didn't
movie,
hate
it
it.
at all.
Yeah,
I didn't like.
I just
All right, well, I think
yeah,
as a collective, we're giving it two
yeah,
Dream Stars. I think that's
yeah,
fair.
yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
I think that's fair.
It's had a lot of issues, and
Yeah, I mean, let's go right into it.
yeah,
So, I mean, beginning of the movie, we start out with Cassie's mom, right?
right.
And then rainforest or in the Amazon in Peru,
Mm-hmm.
studying spiders. Which I honestly like that as an opening. I
That
thought
wasn't
that was
bad.
pretty cool. Like
Yeah,
it
me
was
too.
kind of dope. You kind of
Yeah.
at least got like a little bit of understanding as to like what she was doing
Mm-hmm.
and why she was. Well, you didn't really fully understand why until later in the movie, but you kind of
Yeah.
got an idea as to why she was there. So yeah, basically, long story short, starts off with her mom in the Amazon in Peru, um, and she's trying to find healing capabilities within these spiders.
Yep.
And she's with a dude named Ezekiel Sims,
Right.
who's
The
yeah,
antagonist in
the
the film.
antagonist of the film, and yeah, we'll get into him.
Oh man.
We'll get into
Yeah.
him too, but yeah, basically she's looking for these. She's trying to find these spiders, and it's basically like what we gather is that they're very close to finding them, but they they're like these spiders that they're looking for are very very hard to find at the same time. So it's
Yep.
like they're searching,
Right.
and you kind of get a sense that Ezekiel is, at least not at first. You don't really sense that he's up to no. Well, you do like
He
two
seems a
two.
little
Well,
sketchy.
2 seconds. Well, like
Yeah.
when he brings her the umbrella, he seems okay, and then
He
like
seems sketchy to me
well,
right there too.
I
Bro.
mean,
I mean, maybe because the trailers. No, I know.
yeah, you
who
knew what was
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
For me, it was like almost like, okay, maybe he's not a complete. I knew obviously too where
Yeah.
he was gonna go, but like at first he seemed okay, and then like immediately when he goes back to the camp that they're all at,
Right.
that's
It's
when
just
it just starts getting real bad.
He's like taking pictures.
He's like,
and all
yeah,
that.
looking
Yeah.
for all the information, trying to figure it out,
Yeah.
and then you hear her start yelling.
She found the spider.
She found the spider. She's got it in a glass jar. She's showing everybody, and the next thing you know, you just see two bodies drop.
Right.
And Ezekiel Sims kills them, and then starts fighting with her for the spider.
Right.
Ends up shooting her, like indirectly, kind of. Like
Yeah.
I think like what, in the shoulder or something,
I
or
think
like
kind of no. I think kind of like
in the
near
chest,
in
or
the chest. Yeah.
yeah. And he gets the spider and runs away.
Yeah.
And then kind of like I think in the very beginning, she's talking about the Los Arachnos. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Or Las Arañas? I think it's
The spider people.
yeah, the
pretty
Arañas
much,
or
yeah.
whatever. I forget the exact name, but the spider people of this, the myth of this rainforest.
Right.
And they actually save her
Yeah.
and take her to, because she's also, I guess, sorry, she's also pregnant with Cassie at the time, so
Right.
she's basically about to give birth almost any moment, and that's kind of why she's out there, is because she's trying to find healing for technically what you find out later in the movie, which is Cassie, because Cassie was sick during.
Yeah. She had like some type of genetic neural disease that basically was gonna affect how she moved around. But no, even the sequence of like when the spider
Oh
people
yeah, no,
come,
I was gonna say that.
we both looked at each other and laughed.
Yeah,
Like, and I was like, oh well, this is where
yeah,
it
so we get
starts.
we get a look at the spider people,
Oh
and
man.
they pick her up,
Yeah.
and like their abilities are that they have kind of, they're not super speedy, but they can move around very very quick, climb around the trees,
Like a
jump
spider.
around like a
Yeah.
spider,
Yeah.
and just the CGI animation, whatever the filming of
So
it,
bad.
whatever they did, however they did it, tried to make it look like it
Yeah.
was actually, I don't know. Yeah, it was on par, I mean, maybe even worse
Yeah, I'd
with
say
the
it was worse.
Flash, with
Yeah,
with the Flash,
it was bad. I was like, damn,
in terms of like how bad that looked.
yeah. It was like
Looked like some like TV show
yeah, I was gonna
type
say
shit.
that.
Like,
Yeah,
it honestly did. Like like that just did not look right
yeah.
at all.
That's not how you
And
showing like an origin of spider people, and like you would want to show their powers like more, I guess, like
just
to me
fluent, like
more fluid or
yeah.
more cooler. um I didn't even like their costumes. I mean, I get it, like they were like, the people and all that. I just
Oh, like the spider people's like
yeah,
costume.
yeah. And then I
Well, it's
didn't
kind of like a take on like Venom almost,
yeah,
because it's like, remember they have like that Venom that they.
yeah. And also like, man, I feel like I may be nitpicking this movie, but it's just like they pull up they like save her and all that, and then they're talking English, like they're speaking like English to her, like, or maybe that's what she interpreted that they were speaking. I was hoping like they'd be speaking like their native tongue, like, because how did they
I also yeah, because like when she does come back to like figure out what's going on, he does
yeah.
look like he looks completely different. Like you can tell it's the same guy.
That was the same guy.
Same guy. He just
Oh,
not
he
in his
just does.
outfit.
All right, because they I guess they
Or
don't
not in
age
his
or whatever.
doesn't have like the paint all over him and the
Yeah, yeah,
Venom stuff like all around his arms or whatever.
yeah.
So
I didn't realize that.
yeah, they like when she comes back, like it's the same dude that, like, cause
Okay.
remember he was like, I told your mother I'd be here for you. Like that was the
Oh
same
yeah,
dude.
that
That was
was
the same guy.
yeah. See, this is what yeah,
Yeah.
but
But yeah, so we get
fast forward.
we get that, and then I mean, what is it? Do we go back? Is it first? Do we go back to New York?
Yeah, we
And
fast forwards to
and it's
Cassie
just
being like
Cassie
in
being
her
the
30s.
paramedic,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
which I didn't like that sequence either. It didn't feel like, it just felt so disjointed. Like it was like, oh, we're here. She's a paramedic. She's in her 30s. Like, I don't know. It just didn't. Like, I like the scenes with her like showing it and her interaction with Ben Parker. Like I like that actor. Like I thought their chemistry was like good and
Yeah,
all
Adam
that.
Scott.
But like I just I don't know. It just felt so rushed. Like, and the movies just felt so disjointed. I think because they were trying to.
Well, it was
Maybe that
jumping.
was
It
the
jumped around a lot.
yeah
Like it just jumped around so much. Like I mean, we go right back. We go into Cassie, see her, and then it's
yeah
like as we're seeing Cassie, we then also indirectly meet, Julia, Maddie, and Anya. Like,
right
because remember, like she's driving, she gets flipped off by Maddie,
right
ends up saving, the mother of or whatever of Cassie, like, or not Cassie, Julia,
right
or stepmother, whatever she is. I forget. Stepmother, right?
yep
Yeah,
saves
stepmother.
her
And then we find out that Cassie lives in the same building as Anya when
yeah
she's like being kind of hounded by the landlord about rent.
right yep
So yeah, I mean, dude, it just jumped around so much, but I mean, we
yeah
kind of get like the first look at Cassie and just like it's just kind of what she does, and then that's kind of like when she does, she ends up like falling into the water after she saves the one.
I regret about that too.
Okay, yeah. What about it?
It's like just her being a paramedic, right? And then they go in, they're like, they cut the seatbelt to save the guy. How did they not realize that maybe the weight would shift that way where she just falls in? It was
Yeah,
just too
that's
convenient,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Did you think about that?
I mean, I did, but
I was,
I think that's like they just kind of needed to make that
I know
happen.
they needed to make the sequence
Yeah,
happen, but I think it could have just been better staged. Like it's just like, all right, you cut her out. Of course, the weight's gonna shift in a way. Like maybe they should have thought about that because it was like the weight shifted. They say pulled him out. The
yeah.
door shuts. She falls in,
And then it has like
and
the.
then it has the thing, which was pretty cool. I mean, that
I didn't
sequence,
mind that too much.
yeah,
At first, I thought it was goofy. I'll be honest. When she fell into the water and like
the
the
whole
light
sequence
starts
is yeah,
surrounding her, and like then the web starts surrounding
yeah,
her, and like she doesn't even know what's like really going on,
right,
and like then she's like having these visions or like
yeah,
whatever, or like starts to have like her first like kind of like vision or like future, whatever, and it's
scenarios
just
and all
yeah,
that.
it's
The
just like
deja vu,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and then yeah, honestly, at first I thought it was goofy, but then I was like, okay, it's not terrible.
yeah,
And
like
then you get Ben saving her, and then she's, she lives, and then he's taking her. This is when it starts to really get kind of weird for her. He's
yeah,
trying to get her blood pressure and all that, and her heart or
heart rate, yeah,
yeah, heart rate and blood pressure
yeah,
probably. And she like had he like they like or he like tells her what it is or whatever, and then like it like basically the deja vu kind of starts, it like fast forward or flashes back then to like just right before as he's about to do it, and then it's like she's like, you already took it, and it's 89 over whatever, and then he's like, oh, you're right, like it is, and then that's when she's kind of starts to realize like, yeah, something ain't right.
something's not right. Something's throwing me off. Yeah,
Yeah, and obviously it was, from when she fell into the water and technically I guess died.
yeah, yeah. She
That's
died.
what they
She
said.
yeah, she wasn't breathing, or she was underwater for like 3 minutes, and then I don't know how long it took him to bring her back with CPR and all that. So
Yeah.
yeah, that
And
was
then, so then right after this, wasn't it then we get the look at Ezekiel in his apartment with the spider?
yeah. Ezekiel, he goes on that date, right, and he brings
Yeah,
that girl back, and she's
from the
basically
NSA.
yeah, he's just basically using her to get her security clearance or whatever. Which that whole sequence was kind of like ah,
It
man,
was
bro.
weird.
It was just not like the fact that he used her, but just like
Oh, no, yeah,
okay,
that's like a normal thing.
yeah,
Like, that's
yeah,
what a normal criminal would do,
yeah, yeah.
a normal
But
bad guy would do.
like the whole like all right, he gets her clearance and then he has access to all this stuff now, and then he hires this like his like flunky. He's like, I'll pay you. Like his
Yeah.
dial like Ezekiel's like he just wasn't a great villain like in general. Like I think it was the way he was written. I think the dialogue was just so cheesy and corny. He's like,
I think he
I
could have been a good, like,
yeah
I think, yeah, that, like, I guess before we go too further
yeah
into it, I
yeah
guess, like, that
sorry
was kind of like what we had been saying, like,
yeah
even, like, during the movie, we were like, dude, the concept, like, the
concept is
idea
there
and, like, the, like, where, like, it's there. Like
right
this could have been. I'm not gonna say one of the best films ever, but it could have definitely been written a lot better
yeah
and perceived a lot better. And just like, I think part of the problem with the movie was just how
mm,
much it jumped around. Just
yeah
like kind of like understand the understanding of just like you get more. It's about Cassie, right?
right
So you
her
you
origin
you
yeah
fully get, you understand why Cassie's going through what. It's not as confusing for her because it's all like literally happening to her.
right
But then when you start throwing in Julia, Maddie,
right
and Anya, and then she's trying to explain to them like this is what I can do, and then
right
then you get the vision. Like yeah, go into it. Go into it because you were already talking about
yeah no so
the vision with
just
Ezekiel.
yeah just going back to when we we Ezekiel and
Because
he
that yeah,
sleeps with that and he has that vision it basically that's the whole sequence of
basically
like we seeing them in costumes
basically
like
gave us all our action. I
yeah
mean,
that
like
was literally
not
I
all of
mean
it, but
most of it
well, because
like the trailer
the ending, because I mean,
yeah but
but
like it was
it wasn't
so
superhero fighting, right?
no it
They're not
was
in their costumes. They're not,
nah it was
yeah.
just so
It's
tame like
yeah,
but like yeah we got all the powers and all that like the trailers hyped it up where we're thinking like we're gonna see them in their suits there's probably and I was thinking like it probably is gonna happen like probably towards the end they get the powers they face off against Ezekiel
get a
but
little bit of an origin
yeah
story, which I
give
mean
it
we
all
still
yeah
kind of do in a
but
light
it's
sense of the word, but
yeah, but it's just the vision. Like he has a vision of them basically killing him,
yep.
and all the action that we saw in the trailers takes place between this probably like 1 to 2 minute vision, and then we don't see them in their suits at all. We don't even see them get their powers. So it's just
Mm.
like
Yeah, we
it's
don't. Yeah,
just
we don't understand how like Julia can do what she can do with like
yeah,
the. I mean, Maddie's. I don't really know if she has like powers. Powers. I think she just has the spider legs. Like she just has the.
yeah,
So I don't. But then we do see Anya almost have like a lasso or like a.
yeah. She has some like type of web or
Yes,
something
or
like
yeah,
yeah,
some web thing that she uses as like it almost looks like a lasso at the same time. Like I kind of was getting like,
yeah.
in a way, I was getting kind of like Wonder Woman vibes like a little bit, just
A little
because it's
bit,
like she
yeah,
like snap and then like snaps
yeah.
back or
But
whatever.
we don't get that much
Any
detail,
explanation
any explanation, no detail. Um,
for them.
Yeah, so it's just he that's basically his whole goal because he keeps having visions of someone killing him and it's these three girls. So that's his whole mission throughout the entire movie and it's man, it's just I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's pretty cheesy because I mean,
So
like, yeah,
corny,
I
bro.
mean, so basically after he gets access to all that, you know,
He starts hunting them down.
starts hunting him down, and then conveniently,
Right.
all four of them end up on the same train.
Right.
Which I mean, you could say is a coincidence or
But it was a
whatever.
plot device too. They
Yeah,
had to put
yeah,
yeah.
they needed them all there for that to happen,
Right.
and then she starts having like like really like more hardcore I would say visions or sights into the future as to what's about to happen, because it was almost kind of like it was almost like layered too. Like you see one girl get on the train,
Yeah.
she had, or not even, no, you have no girl get on the train, she has a
No.
vision, like has like the New York's all kind of crazy nowadays
Yep.
or whatever, and
Yes.
then it comes back, then the first girl or
Yeah.
Anya gets on the train, and then Julia gets on the train, and then
That
Maddie gets on the train,
yeah.
and every time, each time she's like that vision keeps repeating itself, so
Yeah.
we have like four of the same vision
That sequence is
leading
so
up.
confusing.
It well, it
But it makes
I
sense. It makes
kind of
no.
like, I didn't
I like
mind that.
I didn't
I
mind
didn't
that either.
mind
I
that,
didn't mind that
honestly.
either.
That was like one of the things where it was like, okay, this is
Yeah.
actually making more sense as to how this then works for her, and
Right.
how she figures out that then how to like get out of that like situations, right?
Yeah.
Because even then, like, you got to remember too,
Yeah.
it's, I mean, I'm not gonna give an excuse, like I'm not making excuses here for the writers or anything, but like,
Hmm.
you could say that because Cassie's like having her origin story in her 30s, like that's when she's finally learning her powers, like developing, like figuring out exactly what's going on. It's
Yeah.
a little bit different. Like I mean,
Mm.
I'm not saying that that means you cut out half of it or make it confusing or whatever, but it's just like, I don't know, maybe that's why it just seems so like,
Disjointed
yeah, or
at
just,
times.
yeah, or just like pure chaos, because
Yeah.
like it's
I
almost like
just
she's going through a midlife crisis while all also then having like
yeah.
this happen to her at the same time, even
Right.
though she's really not going through a midlife crisis, she's
Yeah.
just
She just
a
her
lonely
power.
person,
Yeah.
really. I mean,
Yeah.
at least at the start, that's how she
Yeah.
seems
She
very lonely.
seems very lonely. It seems like just kind of going through the motions as far as with her job. Like doesn't really seem like she really enjoys it
She
too much.
and like she's like one of the guys, like she's
Yeah.
not really like a,
Yeah.
I mean, you could maybe say that's a fault of not growing up with a mom, I guess, but
Yeah.
still, like, she's she's definitely just more awkward. She's very awkward. She's
Yeah.
not
So
like,
awkward.
she's like, she really, the best person that she has the connection with is
It's
Ben.
bad. Yeah.
And then,
Because they work together.
so yeah, so it's just like, I don't know, like maybe that's why it just seemed like so chaotic and so just all over the
Yeah.
place. But I mean, yeah, we get the first kind of face off between Ezekiel and the girls as a group,
On the
and
subway. Yeah.
on the subway, and I did think it was here's what I actually, here maybe might be my first little nitpick about the real nitpick about the movie.
Yeah.
So when it first happens, right,
Right.
when he first shows up in the subway, nobody can see him other than them, right?
No, I think they can see him. They're just not really paying
I thought the
attention to him.
cops couldn't see him.
No, I think he was just moving too
But then
fast.
remember when they're driving in the car after,
Yeah.
and they hear the radio thing,
Yeah.
and it says that, and they're talking about it, and it says that they're looking for Cassie because everyone thinks that they abducted
Because
her.
I think
But then remember, because then I'm pretty sure they said something along the lines of like, we were the only ones that could see him.
oh yeah, they did say something. But I think mainly the reason why they were looking for Cassie is because Julia yelled,
Well,
"This woman's trying to
right,
kidnap
right.
me."
But I also, like, it seemed to me like the
Yeah.
only people that could actually see him crawling around in the black suit was the girls.
I don't think so
Unless
because
maybe that was, yeah.
Ben saw
Well,
him. Yeah.
that's kind of why I
Yeah.
wanted to bring it up, because like then later Ben sees him.
Yeah. So I think I think they saw him like they just it just happened so quick so they just and then Julia yells, "This woman's trying to abduct us." they see this, they see that they're running off him. He was moving so quick, maybe
Hmm.
people were just
Not able to see
yeah,
him.
and then
Yeah,
they're probably just trying to normalize the situation, like um
that's a good point.
this girl, this is clearly the most normal situation, not like some mask vigilante is killing cops and all that. So,
Yeah. True. True.
but yeah,
Yeah.
would you think of his suit?
I mean, it was very clearly like a it was very clearly a take from the I wish I knew their name. I remembered it correctly, but the spider people, we'll call them the spider people.
Yeah, yeah.
It was very clearly a take off of that, because like when we first see the kind of spider people crawling around in the trees, like they're not wearing suits.
But
They're
they're wearing some
they're
like
very more like
web.
it looks like a venom. It looks like what
Yeah,
venom
yeah,
would look like, almost like
yeah.
it almost just looks like there's like venom
Oh yeah,
all
yeah,
wrapped around their
yeah,
arms
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. And
Because
that's why his
the
suit looks like that kind
yeah.
of too.
No, that kind of makes sense because I mean the spider, they are fully ingrained with the spider. The spider has like a neurotoxic venom that, so maybe it just kind of just spews out, or they made some type of connection with that. I don't
Yeah.
know, but yeah, that whole sequence was kind of cool. Like there are moments in the movie I
No,
like
I
where I'm
mean,
like, yo, this is actually like pretty decent.
and I mean, like honestly, like granted, like yeah, maybe the suit was goofy, and just like the
Hmm.
idea of like him at the very start was goofy. Because here's, I guess, the other thing I was telling you, and I mean, and realistically, we really only see him in his true like Ezekiel comic form in the Vision, with them killing him when he's like truly barefoot, gray hair,
Right.
suit. That's how he truly looks in the comics. Like, and again, I
Yeah.
don't know if he ever actually wears some off-brand Spider-Man suit, like ever in the comics. I've never actually, I guess, read.
Off-brand
You know
Spider-Man
what I mean?
suit. I
Yeah,
like
I'm just saying. Yeah, you
that.
know, I don't know if he ever actually wears anything like that in the
Yeah.
actual comics or not. But like, he, I guess, like, even though the suit was goofy, I
Yeah.
didn't mind like some of his combat, like him moving around a little bit. Like,
No,
it
no,
wasn't
no. It
terrible. It
wasn't
wasn't
terrible. I
completely
wanted
terrible, but some of it
more,
wasn't that great.
man.
Oh no, 100%.
I
It's a
want
fucking Spider-Man movie, for
That's
Christ's
why I'm
sake.
like, I wanted more. And they just dropped the ball with some of the action sequences. Like, I mean,
Spider Woman.
yeah. We
It's
could
it's a Spidey family. Dude, Spider Verse. If you look at every other Spider
yeah.
Man esque film, all of them have pretty fucking decent amount of action in it.
Yeah.
Like,
I
to the
agree.
point where it's like, you know, even if you don't like the plot, the
Yeah.
actual, where Peter's going in his life or whatever, then at least you can be like satisfied with like
The
the dope
action scene.
fights that are happening with
Yeah.
the villains. Because
And it's just like, yo, okay, like he didn't need to be web slinging, but at least we could have showed some sequences where he's like chasing them, and it could have been like full
so
on.
here
And I thought they were gonna do that when we saw him like on the building and like when he was
So
running.
I
Like
think that
there's
has also something to do with just like going back to the spider people in general. I don't
yeah,
think they really web sling. They just jump around from tree to tree,
which I didn't.
move fast.
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't need that, but at least we could have a sequence where clearly he can run on like walls
true,
and
we did
like
get one.
yeah,
He was
for a
running on the
second,
right. Yeah,
for a second,
no,
and it
yeah,
was
dude.
like
It
a
was like,
tease. And I thought it was gonna be a whole sequence where he's just following them. Like it could have been really cool. Like
if you're looking for a movie that has spider, or if you're looking for a movie that has suits
yeah,
and action in it, this is not
this ain't
it.
it. This ain't it.
Well, if you're looking for about 5 minutes of that,
Yeah,
5-10 minutes, then this might
yeah.
be your movie. But no, yeah, there was just the whole Vision just kind of sucked, because that was really the only time we get to
That's it.
see them in their suits really doing shit. I guess we do get to see another glimpse towards the end of the movie where they're fighting other people, but it's very quick. It's very like,
Yeah, it's very.
and then like the only time we ever get to see them all together like in their suits technically is at the end of the movie, when you
Right.
have Cassie in her web, and then
She's
in the
like,
web of life and destiny or whatever,
yeah,
little sphere thing floating around, and then you got the girls in their suits. But it's like, I
yeah,
don't know. Yeah, it's just they definitely like we said, plot, the concept, the idea is there.
it's there.
Just the direction
The
and like
direct.
how you needed to put it out there, I just don't think they did a good job of it,
No,
unfortunately.
I mean, we saw who was the writers behind it, like
Yeah,
Morbius.
yeah.
Yeah, the Morbius writer. Um,
Maybe their goal was to just make a worse film than Morbius. Like that
like
was just what they were trying to do. But
yeah,
here
I don't.
again,
I'm not even mad at the director. Like
no.
I think the director did what they could as far as with the script. I mean, but the screenplay.
Well, I mean, I guess yeah, you're right. Well, because the writing, if it's written, okay,
Yeah,
flashback, 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 then
Yeah.
so it's really not on the
So
it's not
like
on
I'm
the
looking
director.
at it and
Yeah.
screenplay it's with it's freaking Gods of Egypt, which is also a bad movie, and then Morbius. Like it was the people who wrote Morbius wrote this, which is so
Which you could definitely, I
strange to
mean, but
me.
you could
Like
definitely tell.
Morbius
You mentioned it.
bomb, bro.
What?
So why would you bring on the same writers
Oh
unless they
yeah,
were writing it at the same time? It's just like that's just so strange. Like how's that happen?
yeah. I don't really know. I guess when they filmed Madam Web technically, or like when
um
it ended production and all that.
bro, yeah, it says production filming was, oh wow. Hold on.
Don't tell me before 2020.
I was about to say that, but give release date. No, not yeah. It was I think it was 2020 came out 22.
So 2 years ago.
No, it's sorry 2023. Yeah,
Okay, well, I guess here's the other thing. I mean, if they didn't take that much time with it, I mean, you definitely could tell in the product of the movie. I guess like it just seemed very like we've been saying rushed and just like while we're saying the direction was there or like the concept and like the idea and like where you could go with it is there. I mean,
yeah,
they just didn't. I mean, dude, it's just so it's just so crazy to me like how you have a story like this. And honestly, like again, the idea there. I know I keep repeating myself. It was there.
yeah. It was there.
It was there, dude. They just failed so badly with trying to like
Yeah,
put it or have it make it make sense to us, I
yeah.
guess, and put it on screen. Like it just didn't. Like here's the thing. I don't fault any of the actors.
No, I don't. I think they were all
They
great.
were all honestly good. Even
Yeah,
Ezekiel. Like I just think he was put in a fucking weird role. Like, and I
it's the
really want to
writing.
know.
It's his writing. The
Well, I
writing.
want to know
Yeah,
too. Does that dude really speak like that?
that's a good question.
Did he have to make his voice sound like that for this role?
I think because the writing was so like cheesy at times, it's like it made him the way he spoke
Sound that way?
sound so corny. He was
Because
like,
he sounded like a car salesman, dude.
yeah, he's like, I came from nothing. They cannot take this from me. Like,
But he's like talking like he's about to sell you a car. Like it doesn't sound like it's like a dark
yeah,
like he doesn't sound like I don't know. It just seems so weird to me,
yeah,
man. Like
it's just. But oh,
ugh.
correction. It was filming was from late 2022 going into 2023.
Okay, okay.
So
Yeah, I mean you could definitely tell it was a little you can't even really say rushed. I think it like you've been saying it boils down to the writing
yeah,
and they just didn't do a good job of just fucking piecing it together, I guess is the best way to say it.
yeah.
I mean, but
I wonder, I wonder like with actors like and maybe they know they just sign on like all right this is an opportunity like but when they're reading the script they're like yes this actually is gonna be good or do they just like this isn't really that great like
I don't know, man.
yeah
I really don't know.
or it's just
Well,
like during filming they're realizing like
well, I guess we could. I mean,
this
we
isn't
could
that
get away from just the plot or just the movie itself for right now, and I mean, just
yeah
talk about how kind of like the rumors are that they all thought they were joining the MCU, and this movie's not a part of the MCU technically.
didn't they ask Dakota about that in the
Yeah,
press release
I think so. That's what I was saying. It seemed like a lot. Well, because then also like I guess that was another piece of news that kind of came out basically either during premieres or like after the movie dropped. Like it was like
yeah
she changed her agency like almost instantly.
what do you mean like her
Like who reps her and like gets her
oh
her
that's bad are you
like
serious
dude instantly. Like she changed. She went from I forget the names, but I think she's with I don't know. I'm not gonna try and
yeah
whatever, but I know she left her
yeah
she left that one group and then went to a different one. Like
because she
almost
probably
like during like basically
yeah
as like this has been going on, like that
She
was
was
like all
she
she
was
came
like,
out.
all right, I need to get ahead of this, get a new agency, make sure I book some gigs. So this movie's probably
This
gonna
movie
bomb.
yeah doesn't like make well okay, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like like I was saying, like I don't blame any of the actors because like
No, they
honestly,
were
dude, like
great.
Adam Scott was honestly fine. He was a
Yeah,
decent Ben Parker. Like I mean, for
yeah.
what he was given, I think
The
even
girls were great
yeah,
too.
that's what I'm saying. Like their dynamic together, like you could
Chemistry
definitely
was great.
tell they like all got along. Like they were all
Yeah,
good together. They can all act together.
yeah,
I just think if you give them better writing, this movie skyrocket or
yeah,
I'm not saying it skyrockets. It's not going to overtake any of
yeah.
these. I'm not. It's not going to overtake any of the Infinity Saga movies or anything like that. It
No,
was
no.
never going to be that good, but
Yeah,
it could have. I mean, I don't know. It
it
could have
could
at
have been a lot
least been a
better.
lot better. Like
Yeah,
a lot better,
you
dude.
could they could have played on the chemistry of the girls and like maybe just had better banter with them. Like
I think they wasted a lot of time in the movie too with the certain flashbacks and
Yeah.
certain things because like it almost seemed, and again, not that every movie has to be like pure action, but when it's a superhero movie and you're teasing it that hard in the trailer,
Yeah.
there should have been a lot more build up with them. Like, you know, we kind of already said origin story, but like,
Yeah.
there should have been a lot more with the girls and figuring
Hmm.
out like how they could do what they do.
Yeah.
Like, part of like that vision. So I guess maybe here's the other thing I'm kind of like thinking about as we're
Hmm.
talking is like, you know how like when Cassie at the end of the movie, when they're all fighting Ezekiel on the top of that building,
Right.
she says, I believe the line was, "Your future was never them. Your future was me."
Yeah. You're.
So was that future or was that vision he was having of the girls in their suits just like not bullshit, but just like
I think he was being. They said that the like the original like spider people. They were saying like he was being haunted by. He was like
so that
cursed.
okay, so it was like just
So
like a so it
yeah.
wasn't actually real. Like he like
Yeah.
not to say that they not to say I guess that they couldn't eventually have
Yeah.
that vision couldn't have come true, but like that vision was more of just to scare him, not really like saying that that was actually going to happen to him. Really, like
I think also like Cassie's, you know, her interjecting and like kind of she she affected everything. So
true.
may I don't know. He was having those visions, so he would eventually killed her. I think he was just it was just like a curse on him. Like he
Yeah,
was just kind of afraid of like his own demise, and it came to down to Cassie being the one to deliver that.
yeah.
Um,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know how much you want to really roll through this plot. I mean, we've been jumping around,
No,
but
no,
I
no.
mean, this
It's
jumps around
just
so much too.
yeah. It's just not really like the plot itself is not. I feel like we've
We've hit it.
yeah we've hit it
I
for the
mean,
most
because then
part.
I
Like
mean, so they escape him. They all
right.
go to the woods. Then she leaves to go like read those books, you know, or or go back into that suitcase from her mom and just try to like learn a little bit more. Tells them to not do anything stupid, and of
Yeah,
course, what do they
they
do?
do.
They
Yeah,
go do
they're
something stupid.
teenagers. Yeah.
Yeah, they go up to the diner and they
Yeah.
get noticed, and
Right.
then um
Start dancing on
yeah,
tables.
start
So
dancing
it's so
with
cliche.
dudes flirting with him and stuff.
Right.
And then some guy calls in, and then Ezekiel, obviously with his old NSA, you know, technology now, he's
Right.
able to intercept that call and figure out where they're going, and basically act like an officer and say, "Hey, these aren't our people. I got it. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
And then Cassie goes back to the woods, but then at that same time, it's almost like the first kind of vision where Ezekiel technically is already there. Like
Yep.
Ezekiel gets there before Cassie's even there, and just goes in and kills them all. And then it resets back then to Cassie in the woods, and then she's,
Right.
dude. I guess that's the thing. It was just a lot of just
Just
like
jumping around.
well jumping around, but it was just like a lot of we're seeing a lot of the same shit, which I
Yeah.
get. Like I get the point of that. Like I
Yeah.
understand why that is. I understand why that is, but like that many times and to the
Yeah.
point where it's like okay, we kind of already understood like where
Yeah.
you were going with it after the first jump, so
Yeah.
like just I don't know.
Yeah, and I also wish they would have gave more of an explanation as why what triggers her to jump. Like we never really got
Yeah, like she says she can't control it,
she
right?
can't
So then
control it,
like
and then she learns how to
what?
control it, but we still don't even really understand how she's
Yeah, no,
controlling it.
we were literally just talking about that
Yeah.
before we started, because then eventually she ends up going to Peru,
Yeah.
back to Peru, because she knows that she needs to go back and learn more of if figure try to figure something out as you know why
Just relate
what's
to her
going on,
mom. Yeah.
which is when she meets back up with the dude who helped give birth to her,
Right.
and then he pushes her into the water.
Spiritually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
It
the
reminded
Doctor
me.
Strange shit. The Doctor
I was
Strange
gonna
shit.
like
Yeah,
look at
Doctor
you
Strange.
like, bro, Doctor
Doctor Strange
Strange.
type
We
shit. Yeah,
pushes her
pushes
in
him out.
spirit. Yeah.
Yeah, and she goes in the water and like has a vision.
Yeah.
Well, and here's like she doesn't really have a vision. She's using her powers at this point because remember if she
Right.
gets out of the water and
Yeah.
after she has the vision with her mom, she goes back and talks to her and figures out like really why she was there, which is
Yeah.
because Cassie's sick with a you know
Like the neural disease, it just affects her nerves. Like it's
okay.
a nervous system type of disease where it was basically she was not going to be able to like walk or anything. She'd probably be, um, maybe in the wheelchair most of her life. Or
Yeah, that's a
yeah,
good point. But yeah, so that happens, and then she gets out of the water, and then like you know talks to him, and then he's telling her. I wish I knew that dude's name. I forget, but we'll just call him Head Spider King.
Spider King.
Um, he basically you know explains to her kind of you know that those were her using her powers as she went back in time to talk to her mom like in the room
Yeah.
when she's finding out that she's sick and all this, and then we get the best line of the movie. Yemi's favorite line of the whole movie.
Uh,
I thought this dude was gonna walk out when
You're gonna have to say it because because I just looked at you and I was just like, what? Why did they even say that? He's like, you will be granted with great power. No, how did he say? Do you remember it?
I don't.
It was so
I'm thinking.
cheesy.
I'm thinking.
Yeah,
It's instead of saying with great power comes great responsibility, he says something along the lines of like,
you will be granted
when you
with power.
have or with what comes with great power also will be great responsibility or something
Yeah,
like
something
that.
along the lines
Something like
that was
just
just so cheesy.
super. It was
And
worded differently
yeah, and it
and
just
like
wasn't necessary. Like they could have left. They
it
didn't even
was
need to say it.
it was
Like
her Uncle Ben moment.
yeah,
She was having her Uncle Ben moment,
yeah.
and it wasn't with Uncle Ben, obviously, but um, well, I guess it was with her Uncle Ben, technically in a way you could say. But you know, if you really want to make that analogy,
Yeah.
but if you really want to make that
I
analogy,
mean,
but yeah, dude, it's just so weird. Like, one, why didn't you just keep the wording the same? Just
if
keep
you're
it
gonna
the
do it, just do
same.
it. Just do
Yeah,
it.
just
Yeah,
keep, dude. Well, one,
yeah,
honestly, like that. I'm not saying that would have been enough to like save the movie or anything, but that would have been like one thing. I'm sure people, even people like hated the movie, they would have been like, at least they got this right. At least they
yeah,
gave a nod to this and like
yeah.
kept that kind of homage and whatever. It's just I don't know.
I feel like they're probably thinking like that's too on the nose. We gotta switch it up a little bit.
Oh
But
yeah,
then it came off even
came
cheesier.
off way worse,
Yeah,
dude.
I was you
Didn't
should.
like we were almost it almost didn't make sense how he said it. Well, he said it very like Yoda like.
Yeah,
Like
very Yoda
like very the words are just backwards like
Yeah, it was just
uh
Cassie just goes to Peru for I don't know how long, and then somehow gets back in time to just we're going further into the plot, but she somehow gets back to save the girls because again, Ezekiel comes after them. But just the whole sequence of that, I know it's like a plot device. Like I know they have to figure out how to get her back, but like even I think we were discussing off camera, like her her going to Peru it should have just been like they could have done like it could have been like at least 30 minutes or just
yeah,
giving more of us an
a little bit
explanation.
more like because
Yeah,
obviously she and I guess I made this counterpoint when we were talking
yeah,
is that like in her defense, yeah, she really wasn't like going to Peru to like train and like I guess learn how to like actually use these powers. She was mainly just going to like learn what happened and
yeah,
I guess in a way learn a little bit more about the powers too. And the guy even says to her, King Spider King, even says to her, he's like, you with that web, like you have the power to be in more places, anywhere you want to be, like more than one place at once.
hmm
And you kind of sense, okay, well, that's probably what she needs to figure out and learn how to do or whatever. And
yeah,
then literally, like they say that, then the cheesy Ben Parker line comes in, and then we get a flashback to then Mary Parker having her water break and then
yeah.
like rushing her to the hospital and stuff. And then it's literally Cassie pulling into their driveway like 5 minutes later. It's
Yeah.
like, what the
How did
like, how did she get
how did you
back?
get back so
And
quickly?
here's my other gripe. She's gonna be driving the same. You're telling me that she went to the airport, left that taxi, and nobody asked questions?
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
That's a
Like
good
nobody
point.
asked questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody asked questions, and she's got this beat up ass taxi that's not
And then
hers.
the ambulance happens to pull up right where she needs it because she couldn't use the taxi again. She needed to get there quick.
Dude, it was a.
So an ambulance just happens to pull up right next door and she takes it. Like
You know what I'm
we're
realizing,
probably
bro?
nitpicking a little bit, but just like some of the things like
But
the
when
movie.
you're trying to understand, like
Yeah, a
when
movie
you're
was
trying
so
to
disjointed.
well, and when you're trying to like get an understanding of like the people in it, and then
Right.
also like why shit the way it is, you can't be one jumping around this much, but then also making it ever so conveniently that shit just lines up the way it does.
Yeah.
When majority of Spider-Man films, like it's you deal with adverse, like it's
Yeah.
adverse. Like there's not a lot of shit's going great. Like
No, no, no,
it's a
no.
lot of adversity and
It's a lot
him
of
him
adversity.
figuring out himself. And what are you telling me that it was the exact same situation for these girls, but
Yeah.
they just I don't know, man. They just dude, it was a very like I'll be honest, like the more we're talking about this, it very like this should have been on CW. It was very like and just like
Yeah.
the way that they jump from like stuff to stuff. How like if I'm even thinking back to like one of my favorite CW shows, The Flash.
Yeah.
Love that show, and I mean I've watched that show literally up until the end, and
Can't believe
I
you
know it
did.
got worse. Trust me,
So
I'm
bad.
aware how bad it got. I dealt
Very
with it.
bad.
I dealt with it. But it like if you look at that show and like how stuff happens in that show, bounces around, always having an enemy to fight, yada yada, whatever stuff is like the plot. It just lines up. It just flows very like
Yeah.
very like this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is gonna
Yeah.
happen. It was almost the same thing here, but
Yeah.
then mix that in with just we're gonna then we're gonna make everything convenient, but then we're gonna
Right.
jump around 50,000 times in between these plot points to then confuse the shit out of you
Yeah. And
and not make you understand what's going
how
on.
did Cassie? All right, she's in the ambulance, right? And then she like launches off of a building, right, to run into Ezekiel. Like, how did that even happen? Like, I need to like see that scene again because I'm just like, how did she even get up there? How did she talk? I know she was having visions of as far as
That's a good. I didn't even think about that, dude.
yeah, but
That's
it's
a good
just
point.
they just didn't do like they didn't do a good job of like showing that she is understanding and mastering her powers. There should have been a
Yeah,
longer sequence of her like understanding like okay, this is how her powers work. This is where how my visions work. It's just like she just pulled up and she's like they're like, "Oh, you're showing off." Like cuz you know, she does save them. They're like, "Oh, like you understand your powers a little bit more." And she's like, "Yeah, a little bit." And I'm like, can we get some more clarity
yeah.
on
Like,
that?"
let us know how that happened,
Yeah.
dude. Like, yes, I mean, yeah, we get that, and then we get they go back to the building, and then with all the
Oh,
explosives, because
explosives.
she has the vision. You remember, she remembers that, oh, Ben told her that this, or whoever told her that this building is laced with explosives and
Right.
whatever, and so that she's like, all right, we'll just take him into that because it'll be like a death trap basically.
Yeah.
And then they're fighting him on top of the roof, trying to get saved by a helicopter. We gave some innocent people lose their lives for no
Mhm.
reason. Adds to the story,
Yo,
I guess.
yo.
What?
Wait, you were just talking about the helicopter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they end up going down.
Yeah.
I just thought I completely forgot about
Yeah, they
like
died.
yeah, she basically calls them and then basically yeah, they're collateral damage.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
No.
so messed up
They
and
got
nothing no sequence,
yeah.
nothing really discussed about how she calls them and they basically get killed because of Cassie.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe they didn't get killed. Maybe
yeah.
they I don't know.
No, they died. That
Yeah,
thing blew.
yeah, it
That
blew
thing
up.
was engulfed in
Yeah,
flames
it was. It
immediately, dude.
goes.
Shit just blew up.
Yeah,
I think it blew up in the air.
yeah, it blew up in
Um,
the air.
but yeah, and then that's where we get like their kind of face off, the girls and Ezekiel, and then this is when we finally learn that Cassie now magically knows how to use her
Her
powers
powers, yeah.
that she went to learn about, or not really learn per se about. She, like, that's, I guess, dude, I don't get it. Like, they could have at least explained, like, they could have at least said, like, okay, Cassie's going to like figure out what happened, but then also figure out like how to better, like, because I don't think they ever were like, I'm going to Peru to learn how to control this. They literally, how I took it was she's going to Peru to just learn why shit is happening, or what happened in Peru that now
Hmm.
is related to what's happening now. Like,
Yeah,
why is all this happening? Not, hey, I'm going to train. I'm going to go train and She-Hulk it with my cousin and fucking learn all my powers. With like how
yeah.
they did in the show with like they go to literally have like their little training camp, but they're on the side of the mountain throwing shit. It's not like that. It
No,
literally just got explained to us as she's just going there to
no.
learn about what happened to her mom and
Right.
why this is happening now. And then, but then she comes back and she's like one of the most powerful person in the fucking room. It just like doesn't
No,
make sense to me. I don't know.
no. It's just.
Which she probably always was, I guess. You know what I
Yeah. I
mean?
mean, she
But
the mental or her being able to see her visions and all that. They just could have done, like we said, they could have done a better job with explaining like how her powers work now, and like I know the acceptance of understanding like what her mom did for her was a big thing, but it's just like we need more of an explanation than the whole acceptance piece. Like it was just disjointed,
yeah, and then
disjointed.
yeah, it was. Yeah, that's just the best. I mean, I truly think that might just be the best way to fucking explain it. Like,
Yeah,
honestly. Um, but then yeah, we get Cassie falls off the top, and this is where she like turns into Madam Web,
yeah,
like Madam Web, because she gets hit with the firework in the face or whatever it was,
yeah.
or
It basically blinds her.
the flare, right?
Yeah,
And
smacks her in the face. She's just going down, and this is a random flare just
nails her,
nails her.
nails her.
I was like, oh, that's how that happens.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because Madam Web in the comics is technically blind, and
yeah,
technically, I'm pretty sure it was also true that she technically can't walk either.
yeah, because she's in a wheelchair
Well,
afterwards.
and then I think in the comics,
Yeah,
she's like sometimes in a wheelchair, and then other times, like how
yeah,
in the end they show her floating in that web, the
yeah.
circular web. She also like can just chill in that.
Yeah, and that's what I was kind of confused with. I was saying like I was thinking like, are they showing? Because yeah, Cassie beats Ezekiel, and then we see that ending where she's in like her like electric wheelchair and all that, and I was just like, is she still recovering? Like, is she gonna be able to walk again? Like,
I
I
don't
was kind
know.
of confused on that.
I don't
Like,
know. I really
I knew she's blind,
yeah, I know. I know. Yeah.
but
Let me rephrase. I don't know for a fact if she's in the comics that she also can't walk, but I
yeah,
thought I saw that she's doesn't walk in the comics either. Half the time she just sits in the
yeah,
middle of the
she's
web
in.
of
Yeah,
life and
yeah,
destiny and just
right.
chills and makes sure shit's all good. That's I
Yeah,
mean, realistically, like very curious, and I was looking into this kind of like before you got here after the movie, like I I was curious if she had shown up in the Spider-Verse movies yet or not, and her herself technically hasn't like the true what,
ooh,
but
yeah,
I here's what I know. I was hoping maybe even myself I was like, ooh, maybe that they're maybe in the third movie she'll get introduced or
yeah,
something, because technically, like, the web of life and destiny is what connects the Spider-Verse, all the Spider
right,
people. So like truly, like what Miguel is trying to say with all the like in that, like, we'll jump to the Spider-Verse real quick, like how like he's trying
yeah,
to tell Miles in the second movie, like, you can't fuck up the what are they called, canon events.
yeah. So it
That's not a
affects.
canon event. It's not that it's maybe not a canon event, but it's like, because here's my thing with that. Cassie is very like much about like she's like, best part about the future hasn't happened yet. You can change the future.
Right.
So I'm wondering if like maybe they do introduce Madam Web as like also
Yeah,
almost like a in the third Spider Verse movie or whatever
it's
they
a
plan to
good
do with
theory,
it.
bro.
But
It's a good theory.
but yeah, like I was saying, like in the comics, I'm pretty sure like half the
Hmm.
time she's like almost like on her Loki shit, like she's just sitting in the middle of the web, just making
Ah,
sure
yeah,
shit's
just
good.
making sure. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like I don't think she does a
yeah,
whole lot of like moving around and fucking. I could be wrong though.
yeah.
Uh, I
So what
haven't
is?
read a whole lot of Madam Web, but
Yeah, me. I've only seen her really in the the '90s Spider-Man animated series, like which I shout out to that show. That was probably like my first like really. I mean, I read the comics, but like seeing Spider-Man animated, like that show is it's a classic. But
yeah.
um, now I'm confused. It's like where does this tie in like with any universe? Like because I mean, we see and I guess
You
Peter didn't need to be in the movie.
No, he was, but he
He
really
was
wasn't.
being
He was a
born.
baby.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like you could, I guess, so there were obviously the rumors before the movie dropped that there was going to be, a cutscene with Tom Holland, which would make zero fucking sense.
Yeah,
And then there was a rumor about that Toby or Andrew might show up.
that
I think
wouldn't really make sense
the
either,
only
I
person
guess.
that it could make sense with would be
Garfield.
Garfield.
But then,
And it's because she's so young. Like they're like
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like in this, Emma Roberts, is that her?
yeah,
She's so young. Like it's a
right.
very young like Mary, and she says like Richard's like
Just
off,
traveling around, off
doing,
doing whatever.
which would make
Sounds
sense,
like, yeah.
which would make sense, but like I don't know.
But it says the film takes place in 2003. So it's just like they have to figure out the time, place as far as where, because
Yeah, I mean, do you remember when the like
Garfield's films take place in like 2000. I mean, when did that film drop? Like 2012.
yeah, but like
So,
did they take that more into the future? Or did they put it more into the past? Like you hear what I'm saying? Like so like even though it was filmed in 2012, they're not gonna say that like the time
oh
period
yeah, I
is
see. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2012.
They never really
Like
said that.
I
Yeah,
don't know if they actually
yeah.
ever really said that or not. So like
No, they didn't.
that's like the only way that, I mean, it could work. Here's the thing. The I did want to get this off my chest with this, because when I heard the rumor about that Tom Holland was going to show up and
That
like people
made
were all
no
excited
sense.
and then people were all upset,
Just wouldn't make
it
sense.
would have made zero sense. It's not
Yeah,
the same universe, first,
right.
and two, like,
Unless she has a vision.
yes, right, like there would be no way for him to show up. Like
Right.
it's also just not even like the same. It's not the same story. Like
No,
realistically,
no, no.
like
Garfield's like his. It's weird to describe, but even the way like it's shot, it just feels more similar to Garfield's universe. Like
yes,
it feels
yeah,
like even the Morbius. Like I haven't seen it, but I've seen previews of it. Feels like that's Garfield's universe as well. Even Venom, Garfield's universe. So I feel like all of them collectively should be together, but that's probably not going to happen
yeah.
because their films have been bombing.
I
Like,
just wanted to, I really wanted to
yeah,
just give a shout out to people that like really thought Tom Holland was gonna was gonna show up because I'd love to have whatever you're having.
Yeah.
I don't know how anybody actually
It
thought
w-
that would
it
ever have
would
made sense.
nah,
Like
it
I
would
was like,
made zero
as soon as I
sense.
saw that, I was like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, no,
And
that's
I love Spider Man. Dude, bring them all together. If you want to multiverse it out, bring I mean, if you could do it, make it make sense. But that would this particular story and connection would have made
nah.
zero sense. I mean, it was kind of cool that I guess we got to see baby Peter Parker, but like,
Yeah.
well, they never say his name, right? I don't think we ever heard the name Peter.
Yeah, she doesn't. I was hoping they at
I would
least
hope they would at least say his
like,
name.
yeah, it's like, oh my precious Peter.
Well, the one
Like,
cool thing
yeah,
I was saying it to you in the movie. The one cool thing about just the whole the baby being born and like
yeah,
whatever is when Cassie's laying in the hospital bed and she's with all the girls
right.
and they're just making sure she's okay and talking to
Hmm.
her, and then like she's asking them about how's Ben, how's Mary, how's the baby,
Yeah.
and um they're like, oh, he just loves being an uncle, all the fun and no responsibility. And then she literally goes, like word for word goes, oh yeah, that's what he thinks, which is obviously a nod to the
Clear.
fact that
She can
he
see.
eventually takes care of Peter
Right.
when whatever happened. Which I guess here's the thing: do you find it odd then that if she does have some sort of hunch or knowing of that she wouldn't warn Mary?
I think it's supposed to play out the way it's supposed to play
Like
out.
almost like a canon
It's
event
like,
type
yeah,
scene, type
she
sequence,
has to like
like
let
let
it
shit
let it.
happen.
I think she's probably gonna be in that type of. She's going to that point where
Even
she's.
though she's a very much about changing the future kind of thing.
I agree, but
You know what I'm
like,
saying? Yeah, it's just
like in order for
that really
in order
like
for him to like get his powers, like it has to play out that way. I feel like she's gonna get to that point where she's like, I feel like she's probably gonna be emotional to a sense, but she's gonna be looking at the grand design of
grand scheme of
things.
things. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's
like this is like
because her
almost like
energy,
a greater sacrifice
yeah,
kind of deal.
because her energy was different, even like compared to like completely in the movie. Like she seemed more just either she just seemed more at like peace and had more wisdom because she's able to see
Yeah,
more
true.
than everything she's seen
That's a good
in the
point.
past.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good point.
so yeah, nah, I
Well, here's the thing.
mm,
I don't think we're gonna see much more of this.
nah,
Unfortunately, we
bombed.
were we were hopeful that maybe this would lead to like a Julia Carpenter movie, which I'm
It
not
could.
yeah, that's maybe not out of the cards because I mean
Sydney Sweeney's
because of
pretty.
Sydney Sweeney and
Yeah,
who she is, but
yeah.
I don't know, man.
Is this the end of like Sony trying to make live action Spider-Man s universe? Because it just doesn't seem like it's
Well,
been doing well. Like the whole Marvel portion, like it Sony has they haven't done
but
well.
dude, but why then? But I get you. I know. I totally
Yeah,
see what you're saying. But then, like the my devil's advocate and
yeah,
like just being pissed off about that and
yeah.
just entire thing is just like. But then, how do they do the guys' movies? Okay, like Toby was Sony, Andrew was
I
Sony.
just think yeah,
Like
but like
technically,
case in
Tom
point,
was also Sony at the beginning
right? But it's tied to
until
MCU and
no, I know.
yeah,
Trust me,
but
I know.
yeah,
I know, but it's like, how do they get those fucking 8 or 6
yeah.
or whatever it was
But
7 right, and then fucking fuck all these
but
up
Garfield's
or
movies like
9?
this, yeah,
No,
Spider-Man
8, 8,
2, yeah,
8, 8,
Spider-Man
right? Yeah,
2,
8 between them. 8 between them.
yeah.
3, 3, 3, and then 2.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2, Garfield's movie, that one bombed. It didn't do well. So, and then Venom did good. And then Venom 2, I don't think it did the greatest.
It did
Like,
well enough for them to continue,
yeah,
I
they're
guess,
making
wanting
a
to make
third one.
Spider-Man. You know what I
Yeah, they're
mean?
making
Like
it.
it
But
did
then
it did
Morbius,
well enough.
but it like they're looking, I think they're and it always comes back to is they're looking for like peak level of like MCU like level of like box office
Here's
like
the thing,
and
like when you
Sony
say
hasn't been able.
MCU, like
Yeah,
the comedy in this movie was MCU-esque.
it
Like it was
was.
there.
Yeah,
Like it was definitely like,
it was definitely
dude, it
there.
was this is like I feel like this is just such a I feel bad. I
Potential.
feel bad for the actors. I feel
I
really
do
bad
too.
for them because they did what they could with what they
Yeah,
had,
yeah,
and like every single one of those, like I guess leading actors or actresses in this movie,
yeah. They did
this
well.
project does not portray how good they actually are at acting at
No,
all. Like even Adam
no.
Scott, like I've never even really truly been like a huge, I guess you could say a huge Adam Scott fan. I mean, he's in Severance, and I'm,
Great.
I'm trying to think of off the top of my head
I
what
think I
else I've
kind of.
seen him in that I liked him
Uh,
in. Oh, what was that fucking one movie? I can't think of off the
he's
top of
in
my
the
head.
show too. Is it Arrested Development? Am I
I think that yeah,
with Michael
I
Cera?
I think he is that what it's called.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I think
Either
I'm
way, but
going
dude,
with
like
it.
I'm not even just him, but just like
Yeah.
even to like Dakota Johnson, like
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney. Like Sydney Sweeney is one of the hottest,
She
like,
is.
and I'm not saying in terms, I mean, well, probably in both, in terms
She's
of
smoking.
looks and whatever, but
Oh yeah, yeah, that part too.
she's literally like one of the most like sought after I think actresses at the moment to like be in projects. So it's like, she was great in Euphoria.
Yeah.
The new movie that she has with Glenn Powell, I would
That looks like a little cool,
I would
cute
like. I mean, it's
rom
like a
com.
cute little rom com. Like I'd probably
Yeah.
watch that, Audrey, and I kind of do want to see it. But like she's in projects. Like she's
Yeah,
in.
she's kind of the hottest thing out right
Um,
now.
there was
One of the
something
hottest
else that
things.
dude. She was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood too.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's part of the
She's
Manson
part of the
family.
Manson family. Yeah,
Yeah,
Manson
yeah,
family.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Nah.
dude. So I mean, like, I don't know. I just really feel bad for these, And here's the other thing with like the girls that, and I mean, I don't know how old they technically are, but like the girls that play Anya and Maddie
Yeah,
say they are younger than Sydney.
they have to be younger.
Like this is just like not right for them to like have to be attached to this like so early on in their
Yeah.
fucking career when technically none of them are bad at acting. Like
Well,
none of them are bad at
so
acting.
the good news with like at least Maddie, I've seen her in some other stuff. She's kind
I
of on
think
the
Anya's
rise
in
too.
something coming up too.
Yeah,
Oh,
Maddie's in.
Anya's in fucking Legacy, bro. Anya's in Superman Legacy.
Is she?
Yes.
Oh, she's all
She's the
right.
one who leaked the fucking logo.
Oh yeah, she's gonna be all right.
She's the one that leaked the logo.
Yeah, she's in a few. She's
Or supposedly leaked the logo.
yeah, she's 22. She's in like some upcoming movies. Um, Turtles Are the Way Down, Alien, Superman Legacy. She plays Hawkgirl. So
Yeah, she's playing hot girl on that.
wait, Superman Legacy's in post production? Am I tripping? No,
There's no way
there's
it's
no
in
way.
post production.
That's Wikipedia. Let me ignore that. But yeah, she has in some pretty big up and coming projects, and same with Maddie. Maddie's in Ghostbusters, and
Okay, all
yeah,
right.
she's in
So
some
they're good. They're
yeah.
good. I just feel bad. I don't know. I just feel bad that this
No,
is like
it's not a good look to be a part of a project that just bombs this way, and then it's just yeah. But I think they'll for sure they'll bounce back.
because
No,
I mean, like we said, we've already kind of said it. Like we
yeah,
personally, like I liked all of them in the movie. I thought they all like all four of them together. Like you could have made this movie just about them, and I would have been cool with it.
yeah.
Like
No, I agree. I agree. Their chemistry was on point, so they could have done that. They could have done
like
that.
take out half the paramedic shit and
Yeah,
half the um uh just focusing on Ezekiel really. Like
yeah.
I guess that is my other thing. They kind of like they humanized him a little too much in a way. Like they just
I
like
think they didn't at
I
all.
think I think like just like even like giving him that outlook on like just like or not even what am I trying to say? Basically like trying to show him like almost trying to like give a reasoning as to why he's doing what he's doing. Like that like I think that even was just too much. Just make him a fucking true villain. Like I mean I think
Nah,
they did an
I,
okay job at that, like with in
uh,
terms of just like making him just pure chaos and psychotic.
but yeah,
But
that's what I mean. Like to me, I think there was no. I think they could have wrote him better. Like there was no depth to him. He just kept was like, I came from nothing,
well,
and I was like, dude,
yeah,
like,
yeah, that's
if
true. I guess yeah, and maybe humanize is the wrong word. Just
yeah,
like I just felt like there were times where in the movie they were trying to like get us to like maybe
and
understand or like him
but
a
they
way.
yeah, it was
Yeah, but
terrible.
it was bad.
Yeah, it was so
That's what I'm
bad.
trying to
Yeah,
say. That's what I'm trying. Maybe not humanize,
yeah,
empathize with him.
yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, how are we empathizing with this dude? He just
Yeah.
we the first
He
thing we
just
see him
first
do is
thing kill a pregnant woman.
kill a
Like,
pregnant. Yeah, what are
yeah.
you talking about?
Like
Yeah,
what?
how you want us to like feel bad for him later because he
Yeah,
came from nothing? Who cares where he
right.
came from at that
And now
point?
he's super rich.
Yeah,
Like
he's rich
he's
as
been
shit.
rich. He's been rich for probably decades,
Yeah, he
man.
probably was
Living
never
this.
poor. He probably never came. I mean, he
Yeah.
probably. I mean, I'm not saying he didn't get abandoned when he was younger or
Right.
whatever, but like he found his way into money. He
Yeah.
had to have had money early on too. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I hate when they try to do that when they're like try to like feel bad for this villain. It's like no, dude, just let him be a fucking villain at
Yeah.
that point. Just let him be an asshole.
I think they should just hone in on just him being a villain. Like it is what it is. Like because they didn't do a good job as providing depth to him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
yeah.
guess like if they did want to sympathize with him, they needed to either take it deeper or give
Yeah.
us at least a little bit more
Maybe him as a
background.
child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give us some
Yeah.
visions of him
One
as a child.
That simple.
How does
Flashback of him
yeah,
and
how do
just
we not get that once with Cassie just to like maybe
right.
understand why he's acting this way? Because then like
Yeah.
maybe you could empathize with him at that point, or you could at least understand. Okay,
Yeah.
this is why this dude's a complete fucking dickhead. Like,
Yeah.
you know. But I don't
Man. Yeah. So
know.
so yeah. Two Dream Stars out of five. Would you recommend it to anyone? Like, wait to stream it. Go see it in
Don't pay
theaters.
for it. Yeah,
Yeah, just
I
go.
would recommend that.
Yeah, go wait.
Well, but then that's I also when I say that I also feel like that's me like slighting the people that are in it too. If you want to support the actors and actresses, pay for it, do whatever you want, I
Yeah.
guess. But like, just if you want to just like watch it without like getting mad at it, then just wait until it's on streaming.
Wait till it's on stream.
Yeah,
Going
and
with low expectations too. I
I
mean,
don't even know if anyone's gonna want to pick this up.
I think it's probably gonna be where like Sony movies go there. I think this is probably gonna be like on Stars eventually. Like
Stars,
yeah, like I think like Venom and like
Peacock.
Peacock.
I
Like
love. I actually like Peacock.
yeah.
Peacock's not bad.
But yeah, man, I just
I think we're
we're,
bummed. I think we're just bummed.
yeah, we're bummed. We're
Yeah,
bummed. We're
I think
bummed.
that's where it's at. Cause I'm
It's
like I'm trying to like think of more stuff to
nah,
say, but there's nothing
it's
I
not
can
much.
say.
Yeah, it's not much.
I'm trying to come up with a hot take, you know, so we can just rile some more people up, but I can't.
I
There's
think.
nothing hot about this one.
I mean,
Well,
nah. I
actually,
mean, we're. I think us trashing this movie is probably gonna. We're gonna get a lot. People are gonna resonate with that. I'm sure. Like,
I don't I
yeah,
don't need no one to resonate with me, but yeah, I was I can't even be different.
no,
I can't even cause chaos right now.
no, no.
Madam Web is the best movie you've ever seen. Just clip that, put it on.
Anything else like you?
Nah, I don't know. I'm bummed because I think Dakota Johnson could be a really good Madam Web in the MCU
Yeah,
if they truly wanted to bring her in.
yeah.
Or
Even
at this point, if there is any like maybe plan or whatever to bring her in maybe to Spider-Verse at some point. I'm not saying Dakota, but just like Madam Web itself. I would after seeing the movie, I guess here's my thing with it.
mhm.
Even though the movie wasn't that great, I am itching a little bit more for some more Madam Web and like just that group. Like I would just like maybe it's probably also cuz I'm just bummed that like this is how like this is what we got with them, and it's like we could have got so much more. It's like I would love to see more, but like I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean,
No,
I
it
truly
bombed.
think out of this movie, the only thing that we could potentially see would be like a Dakota Johnson, Sydney Sweeney, like Madam Web with like main character Julia Carpenter doing
Yeah,
shit, and like that I could see that. But like even then, after this movie,
yeah,
I don't know. Unless you were to bring them. The only thing that they could save that would be bringing them fully into the MCU and like, not. I'm not saying include this movie in the MCU, but
yeah,
just like take those actors and actresses and then just let them come over and act in the MCU as those parts and just see if they're any better. I truly think if you give them MC, and I'm not, and I know I know we've talked about the MCU's been in its state of whatever lately too,
yeah,
but like I truly think if you would have given them like even the people that fucking wrote Loki could have probably wrote a better movie than this.
Well, hey, yeah. Loki's writing is great. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying that in
Oh,
terms of
okay,
like
all right.
I'm gonna get fucking cooked for that because that's fine. I really don't fucking care. But like holy shit, what I meant by that was like you could have taken MCU TV writers, had tasked them with writing the movie, and
Yeah,
they would have written a better movie than what these movie writers came up with for Sony. Is that's what I'm trying to say. I'm
yeah.
not saying Loki. Take that out of it, please. Don't crucify me. Just like literally take it as you
Yeah,
could have taken any MCU TV writer. It
right.
could anyone, not just Loki, but you know Loki could have made a good one. You could take
Yeah,
any of those guys, and they would make a better movie than what they produced with this.
yeah,
At least even just in terms of writing, could have kept the same fucking director probably, and they
yeah.
just
I
give
don't
them
think
better
the
writing, and it
director is
probably
the
would have been
issue.
fine.
Yeah,
Because then I think if you give them better writing, then just the jumping around stops, or
yeah.
you
I
don't need
mean,
you
then
don't have to stop it, but just less of that and
yeah,
more explanation as to why we're getting to this point, like in
right.
time. And there was just none of that. There was no like good really there was no good explanation as for why anything was happening in this movie. That's probably the best I can explain it. I think there was just
I'm
really
with you.
no good like there was just no good like reasoning. There was nothing happened in the movie that I was like, okay, that makes sense. Then like that makes sense why that is or that
Yeah,
really like
I agree.
the only thing that made sense to me at the end of the movie was when Cassie was like, "Oh yeah, Ben's gonna have to watch Peter." You know, that was like the only thing I was like, "Oh, that's funny that because that's true. Like
Yeah.
that's like that makes total sense." I don't know.
Hey.
I'm bummed, man. I wanted that movie to be good. I did. I even told him he asked me before we walked in. He's like because we had talked about it how like we were seeing how bad it was getting reviewed and whatnot, and he was asking me so you going in with low expectations? And I go honestly no. I said because if I went in with low expectations, I'd probably like the movie. I would honestly I'd probably be sitting here right now trying to
Yeah,
defend how it wasn't that bad, but it was.
bad.
It also wasn't that bad either, but it
But
was not.
it
It was
wasn't good.
it wasn't good at all. Like
Yeah.
it was not good. It just was not good. Not good enough. Not good enough to be a part of the Spider Verse, in my opinion. That
No.
like you can't. That's like the redheaded stepchild of the Spider Verse right now. I know that's a classic joke. I'm not
Yeah.
meaning anything by that to people with red hair. I love people with red hair, but yeah, it's
I
a.
I
I think
agree,
this
bro.
movie is the outcast of the Spidey family right now.
Yeah.
Even like, I mean, obviously Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man's probably ranked lower on every Spider-Man list, but they're definitely above
They are.
this. They're
They are
definitely above this.
for sure. It's last thing I'll really say is it's sad to say that because Amazing Spider-Man 2 really isn't that great. I think it had the action sequences were great, but like the
It
story
had the
itself,
suit.
yeah, the suit was amazing. Like, but the story was just so convoluted, and I'd probably take watching that over this, which isn't.
100%.
Yeah.
Nah, you don't rephrase. You ain't saying probably. You're definitely watching that,
Yeah, I
right?
am. I am.
Yeah, you definitely
I
watching
am.
that.
Yeah. So there you have it. There you have it. Well,
No, you do you know what this? I know this. I'm not. I'm definitely gonna give this movie a chance. Obviously, with who's playing him and everything, but this makes me really, really nervous for Craven.
oh, bro, I forgot that's Sony too. It's
This
probably
makes
not
me
gonna be good,
really,
bro.
really nervous for Craven,
It's
dude.
probably not gonna be good, and I think there's been issues as far as them pushing it back too. So
Well, it's
that's.
supposed to come out this year in November, I think.
Oh, was it?
It is like
Yeah.
it is. Like
Okay,
it's
yeah.
a hardcore. I think it's
But
like
wasn't it
November
supposed to
5th.
drop last year?
Either last year or early this year, I think. And I think it got pushed.
Oh,
Like maybe it was like a November release
yeah.
last year, and then now I think they just push it back a year.
Yeah,
But it
bro.
makes me really nervous for Craven. I don't give a.
Yeah.
There's still we're still getting a Venom 3, right?
Yeah, we're getting Venom
Don't
3.
care for that either.
Not me
Honestly,
either. I didn't even wasn't really excited
another
about.
waste of a good
Yeah.
Venom.
I think they just need to hand the keys over to MCU. I get they're trying to build their own universe, but it's just not working. So just stick with what you guys have been doing well, and that's the Spideyverse stuff. So
Yeah,
that's it. Just leave it
yeah.
be.
Stick to the Spider Verse. Keep building. Keep fleshing out the MCU. Obviously, I mean we've had a couple of Spider Man reports these past couple of weeks. I mean we've been told that or it's been rumored that live action Miles will
Happen after two more films.
two more films, but what they meant by that was Spider-Man 4. So they mean like cuz obviously we have the trilogy for
Right.
Spider-Verse that's supposed to happen either this year or early next, and then
I'm assuming next. We haven't heard
and
nothing.
then it's supposed to go into Spider-Man 4, and then after Spider-Man 4 is then when they're supposed to introduce live action Miles.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense.
But dude, this makes me excited though because you know how we had talked about like, yo, do you think that there might be a possibility of? I thought I just saw like some bug or something crawling on me. Nothing crawling on you, buddy. No, but I saw that they're like or not. I saw, but you know how we were talking about the possibility of them like rolling into from the beyond or from beyond the Spider Verse into like live action Miles. Like did we think like that they could potentially tease live action Miles after that? And
Mm,
because now of those announcements, it makes me think that they're probably not.
mm.
However, though, like you could, I mean, you still could have those. I think you still could do Beyond, and then if you wanted to like have him face to face with whoever's going to be the live action Miles, and
They
then
could do it.
they could still do it.
Yeah, they
Like
could do it.
they could still do it. It maybe would be just a little weird that then we
It would
wouldn't
be
see him in Spider-Man 4 at all. Like
right.
maybe not have him be like Spider-Man, like the actual Miles Morales Spider-Man at that point. Maybe
Yeah.
we get a glimpse of him
Yeah.
just walking down the street or whatever. Because
Yeah.
then remember there was also that rumor people were trying to like dissect that audio of Tom in the apartment, and there you hear a woman in the background, and people tried to like break it down and break down the language,
Oh
and
yeah,
that
yeah,
they
yeah.
that,
It
that
was
she was
Miles.
calling
Yeah.
Miles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So like even if like we don't get like a full on introduction of Miles in Spider-Man 4, I hope we could just get a glimpse of some dude that we're like,
Yeah.
where
That's
the
clear as Miles.
Leonardo DiCaprio moment. Oh
Yeah.
shit, that's him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Time will tell, bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is a bummer, unfortunately. So I don't even know what else to say.
Any final thoughts?
No,
No. Well, guys,
not really.
we appreciate
I've
y'all.
said enough.
Go check out Madam Web, make your own opinion.
Definitely make your own opinion.
Yeah.
Don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Even though it's saying it's the worst movie ever made.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not worst movie ever made, but like worst CBM ever made. Just don't listen to them.
Yeah, make
Because
it
here's
your
the
own
thing,
opinion.
dude. Like, there could be someone out there that goes and see this. It could be a little girl out there, man, that goes and watches this movie and is like inspired. So, like,
That's a good
you know what I
point.
mean?
That's a good point.
You know, it's not everyone's cup of tea. It wasn't
Yeah.
ours, but
But hey, maybe
it
you
might be
like it.
somebody's.
Yeah.
So, if you want to see the movie, go
Goes-
do it and
yeah.
let us know what you guys think in
Yeah.
the comments down below.
Yeah, and like and subscribe to our YouTube page, The
A
Rising
little
of the
notification bell.
Dreamerverse.
Let us know when.
Yeah.
Let you know when we post some videos and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Subscribe to our TikTok, Rising of the Dreamerverse. Um,
Instagram.
Instagram, The Rising of the Dreamerverse. Follow us there.
We're on Twitter too.
Yeah,
Just
we're on Twitter.
TROTD podcast.
Yeah.
Don't get a whole lot of interaction. So if you want to come talk,
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah. Leave reviews. But yeah, comment, guys. We love your engagement. We love your feedback, whether it's good or bad. Hey, at least you're, engaging. That's all that
Good or
matters.
bad. He's talking to me. He's talking to me.
No.
He's talking to me because I'm always over here I'm getting people riled up by what I'm saying.
Oh, I love it, bro. I love it. But yeah.
Do
Appreciate
you
y'all.
have it? You got anything else? You got any
Nah.
closing arguments?
Nah. Just we'll see you guys next time.
You got anything to clarify? You haven't really said anything on this podcast that pissed anybody off yet. I don't think.
No.
Have you?
I mean,
Have you had any hot takes? I don't
Nah.
even know if you've had any hot takes.
nah. I mean, the one thing I'll say, and then we can wrap up. But and this has just kind of it's so broad, but like
What's it about?
that's what I mean. Like, it's not gonna really flow with the pod. Like,
Who cares?
Yeah,
Fucking say it, dude.
yeah.
I
It's
already defended my honor. So.
Nah.
You can defend your honor.
Yeah,
too.
just
Welcome to Dreamerverse Court.
I always I have a few friends that I'm always like recommending animes and all that, and I feel like sometimes people are blinded by nostalgia and they want to just rewatch the same thing over and over again, which is nostalgia is great.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. But I always have an issue when people are like claiming like certain animes are like the greatest, and then they've only seen like DBZ or like Dragon Ball or something like
Ooh.
that. So
Ooh.
to those friends who have like only seen like a few like anime, like, and I'm not trying to be toxic or anything. I'm just saying, like, open your open your mind as far as watching other anime and then give your perspective. Like, your opinion's your opinion, but it's like only seeing like a few films and then saying like these films are the greatest films of all time. Like, no, you have to have, or like trying like only eating certain foods and like these foods are the greatest foods of all time. Like, you need to open like your palate to be able to experience certain different types of food, so you're more well versed. It's like, yeah, it's a comparison of reading, food, and just, yeah, like, people are just blinded by nostalgia. And I agree. And I love Naruto, and Naruto has a special place, and it's definitely one of my favorite animes. But like, guys, like, there's some great
There are some solid
great animes out right now, and I get like that's your comfort, but like, open your mind a little bit. Like, just watch something different, challenge yourself.
Careful, Ollie. Yemi's
Don't be
hot right now.
don't
Careful.
don't
He's
be
getting hot.
don't be complacent with what you watch, and that's just all I have to say. Like,
I like that.
yeah,
I appreciate it. I like
that's
that.
specifically coming to Wyatt, because
Oh, damn.
yeah,
Fuck.
I had to call him out.
Going for
But
the
he,
jugular.
but he knows why. He knows why. If he listens to this, he'll understand.
Love you, Wyatt.
Yeah, but that's all I got. I'm actually
That's
Paul.
funny. That's funny. I
But
like
yeah,
it. I like it.
peace, y'all.
See you
See you guys later.